Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a little bit of an impromptu video on some of my favorite albums of 2024. Um, this is a video that, I always thought I was going to do a big production on and, everything, but I've decided this year just to do a laid back video here, just talking about my top 20. I'm going to quickly go through because I don't want to go too in depth to make this an overly long video. Some of my favorite some of my favorite albums, not videos, some of my favorite albums of 2024. Okay, so starting at 20, there was the great new album by Shoo Shoo, their album titled 13-inch Frank Beltrame Italian Stiletto with Bison Horn Grips. Terrible title, but just such a great record. If you love industrial rock or anything experimental, definitely check out that album. It's definitely one that I'd recommend. And they've been around for, over 20 years in the noise scene, and they always just come out with such impressive albums every time. And then at number 19, I have the new record by Maggie Rogers, Don't Forget Me. This one was interesting because this album wasn't promoted as much as her last album. I never saw it at any of my record stores, or heck, even Target had her last album, Surrender. Even Barnes and Noble did. I didn't see this album anywhere. It wasn't as promoted as her previous record, but I think it's better. Such a much more intimate, beautiful record. I think her voice really suits the folkier style of music that she does on here. I think it's a better written album than that one. I think it's a step up in quality in really every, aspect. Okay, at number 18 is the new album by Super Furry Animals frontman Gruff Riz, Sadness Sets Me Free. This is a great record. It's one that is just such a snappy, kind of glamorous rock record. Definitely check it out. Sadness Sets Me Free. And then at number 16, I have Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. I loved Magdalena Bay's debut album, Mercurial World, which dropped, Mercurial World, which dropped back in 2021. This one I didn't really love as much. There's some songs which I wasn't a fan of, but yeah, it's just it's a fun album. The band has never made a bad note of music. I really love this one a lot. And then at number 15, just one second, let me this set here. Gotta get my notes. Is going to be this album that was behind me, Glass Animals. I Love You So Fucking Much. I reviewed this album. I think this is a great record. Everyone says, oh, it's generic. I think it's, some really great instrumentation on here. Everyone hates on it because the lyrics are simple. They think it's generic. I don't. Same people who say it's generic put the Sabrina Carpenter album in their best records. Okay, so don't listen to what they think is generic or not. And some really well-written parts on here. I love every single song, especially the first song, Show Pony, is just great. So check out Glass Animals. Okay, number 14, we have Grim Iconic, Sadistic Mantra by JRCG. Is JRCG is the name of the artist. This is an album that me and my friend happened upon because we were just at a record store somewhere and we saw the poster and we listened to it, and it's very inventive. It reminds me of a cross between Liars and Battles. Has some really interesting production. He signed to Sub Pop Records, which is, a really great label. They do this band here, Beach House, is on their label. The songs Dog Ear and Drummy are both very very just eclectic and just engaging songs that just get your mind going. Definitely check out Sadistic Mantra or Grim Iconic Sadistic Mantra by JRCG. Okay. Number 13, we have Bright Future by Adrian Lenker. This is just such a wonderful album. It's very intimate, very homey. I love the song Sadness as a Gift. It's beautiful, has some great instrumentation. I just loved every bit of it. Adrian Lenker, of course, is in the band Big Thief. And she pulls off something really different here. She does more of a... I mean, all her albums are very lo-fi recording, but this one doesn't have lo-fi in the production, but more as it's very scaled back. It sounds kind of like it's just her and her guitar, you know, on someone's porch, you know, and they're playing you their song. It's a very, very nice sounding record. And up next is the album in the number 11 spot, which is the new Fontaines DC album, Romance, one that is, you know, picking up steam here. It's just a great rock record. You know, it's very... I love the guitar work. I love the more shoegazy parts of it. I love the single Starburster, which was dropped, really took a lot to grow on me, but then I really love the other singles like Favorite and Here's the Thing. The deep cuts on this album were really good. It's just a great album overall. Definitely one to check out. And number 10, I have the album The New Sound by Jordy Griep. Being honest, I've never been a huge Black Midi fan. I've liked a few songs of theirs, but they're not a band that I'm going to go out and buy all their albums. But when they disbanded this year, Jordy Griep, the lead singer, announced his solo project, and I absolutely loved the single Holy Holy. And the rest of the album was really, really great too. It drops in October. It's just a fun, breezy collection of tunes, very eclectic, prog to even some Latin funk, and like some tribal music and some other elements, Afro pop and stuff. It's a very fun album, and one I definitely recommend. The New Sound by Jordy Griep. And we're in the top 10 here. As number 9, I have Shin Bangumi by Ginger Root. This is an album that the lead singles this year were really, really good. The lead single for this one was No Problems, which was a fantastic song. You know, Better Than Monday was good. There were some great singles, but this is just a fun 70s inspired pop rock, you know, synth funk record that's just so well produced. He's such a great... Cameron Liu is such a great producer and songwriter. I can't wait to hear what he does next. All right, number 8, we have the self-titled album by Foxing. Heavy album. He dropped the 8-minute track Greyhound. And yeah, it's just a consuming, soul-ripping record. Definitely recommend it. I've been a fan of Foxing for a few years now, and this is definitely a very challenging listen. It takes a few listens to get into, but the more you listen to it, I think you're going to love it more and more. And number 7, we have Big Ideas by Miss Remy Wolf. I've been a Remy Wolf fan for 3 years. One of my friends sent me one of her albums, or her debut album, Juno, when I worked night shift somewhere. I listened to it, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was a great album. And, yeah, she has such a satirical, kind of sexual lyrics. They're just hilarious, very intimate, you know, kind of dirty a little bit, but I just love her voice. Cinderella, Toro, you know, Frog Rock, great songs on that record. Just a great one that I'd recommend is Big Ideas by Remy Wolf. She is a superstar, snubbed at the Grammys again. Justice for Remy. Justice for Remy. Number 6, we have Loss of Life by MGMT. This is an album that took 6 years to come out. They had been teasing it since like 2021 with the whole LOL thing they were putting on their Instagram story. But But yeah, for 6 years and a 10-track album, it's just, it breezes by, but it's just such an engaging and colorful record. I mean, the single Mother Nature was great. I really love the track Nothing Changes. It's just been a mantra for me, you know, going through changes this year. And then, of course, People in the Streets is great. Nothing to Declare. It's just a fantastic psychedelic masterpiece by one of the best alternative bands of the 2000s and really of all time. All right, we're here in my top 5. My number 5 is Wild God by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Some albums, first of all, this is a clear pressing. Some albums you just have to experience, and this is one of them that you have to experience. The singles really don't do this album justice. I heard the lead single for its Wild God and was blown away. And I heard the next song, Frogs, and was blown away. I don't think I listened to Song of the Lake until the album came out. But yeah, I was kind of like, oh wow, this is like really good. And then I forgot that the album was coming out in August. I heard these obviously earlier, and I am just blown away by the beauty of this album. Obviously some very tragic stuff. Nick lost another son. In between this, which his last album, Ghost Teen, was about one of his other sons who passed away. But yeah, just tragic stuff, but just such a wonderful album. Definitely one that I would recommend you listen to. Wild God, it's amazing. Every song on here, Joy, you know, Cinnamon Horses, Oh Wow, and of course the brooding closing track, As the Waters Cover the Sea. Just amazing stuff here. Wild God by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Okay, my number 4. Number 4 is one that really just goes to show how small bands can just impact you in the best of ways. So one day, I was driving around with my friend, and he wanted to share a song that he found, and it's the lead-off song from this album, Where We've Been, Where We Go From Here by Frico. I liked the song enough, and then I listened to the album, and I was so freaking impressed with it. It's like a mixture of Modest Mouse, Bright Eyes, Portastatic, and Fugazi. But it doesn't just imitate those artists. It's something new. Definitely just a guitar and drums on this album. Of course, they have other people who play instruments, but there's only 2 people in the band. Just a great band. I hope they go far. They're on ATO Records, which is a well-known indie label. It was King Gizzard's label forever. And My Morning Jacket is on there as well. But we actually got to meet them because we saw them at concert. And the lead singer was a sweet guy. The drummer is really nice. The bass player, they're just a great band. They signed my vinyl, and the insert is signed by the band members as well. I just can't get over how good this album is. This is a math rock, post-hardcore, Midwest emo, noise rock kind of album with also some art rock tendencies to it too. One of my favorite songs on here is Crashing Through. I love the track Chemical. Get Numb to It is fantastic. Definitely just a music lover's album, I would say, is this one. Check out Frico, Where We've Been, Where We Go From Here. Okay, number 3, another artist I fell in love with is the guy who I knew because my friend sent me his song Cloud 9 from his previous album. I fell in love with it. Then I heard he was coming out with an album. I listened to it, and this is fantastic. This is the album Carrot on Strings by Man Man. This is the orange vinyl. Orange vinyl pressing that I got. Yeah, this is just art rock with more guitars. It's like a mixture of art rock, post-punk, and psychedelic rock. It's just a fantastic record. So much personality, even in Ryan Katner's vocals. I love the opening track, Iguana, even when it dropped. The Cryptode is fantastic. My favorite song, Tastes Like Metal, you know, is amazing. Blood Dungeon's great. The last song, Odyssey, has like a 5-minute guitar riff that is just amazing to listen to. I think anyone in the VC would love this album, and it's one that I don't see getting a lot of attention. A lot of people aren't really talking about it. This is my third favorite album of last year. Man, please make another album soon. Please don't take 4 years or 7 years. Please, we need a new one very, very soon. Okay, number 2, Vampire Weekend came back, but I didn't think they'd come back as good as this frickin' album is. Only God Was Above Us. This is one of those albums that just gets better and better with every single listen. This almost made number 1. I was literally ripping my soul apart thinking which album I liked better, this one or the one I have ranked at number 1. This one comes at number 2 just because I know that this album is one that I guess wasn't as impactful to me personally as the album I had in the number 1 spot, but it's still a very impactful record. I love every song on here. Obviously, Gen X Cops, my song of the year. I love Capricorn, Mary Boone, Connect, Hope. The closing track is really great. Pravda, The Surfer, Prep School Gangsters. Just a fantastic record. Vampire Weekend, they get a little bit of a bad rap. As well as a gatefold, it's really cool. But they get kind of a bad rap for being the indie darlings, the prepped up indie darlings, but this is just such a fantastic record. Great instrumentation, chamber rock, chamber pop, Baroque instrumentation, even some psychedelic instrumentation comes in here. Some real smooth, you know, jazzy instrumentation as well, just produced perfectly by Ezra. I believe Ariel Reichstad and Rostam also produced on this as well. But this was my album of the year for so many months. I saw them do this album live. It blew me away. Fantastic show. I saw them at Blossom in Akron, and just such a great record. Highly recommend it. Only God Was Above Us by Vampire Weekend. It's number 2. I wish it was number 1, but there was only one record that I liked more than this. And I'm going to get a little bit personal here. It has everything to do with the album title. This is a band who are in my top 10 favorite bands of all time. And man, I did not think this album would be this amazing. This is a top 50 album for me already. I played this album the most of any album in my collection. I swear this was on my turntable for like 2 weeks straight. Yeah. People Who Aren't There Anymore by Future Islands. The title, People Who Aren't There Anymore. For those of you who don't know, I was, in a little bit of a, seeing someone relationship, and it ended badly, and just, still have pain from it right now. The pain that I haven't gotten over. I've lost friends, not to death, but to falling outs this year. I've had a lot of friends, change. I've had friend groups disrupted. I've had, at my work especially, there are people at my work who aren't talking to each other. And, I've been kind of caught in the middle. My family has really, gotten in crisis with my, to open up a little bit, my sister kind of really cut off our family. I haven't talked to my sister in 3 years, but I still play this album. And every song on this album resonates with me more and more and more. The first song, King of Sweden, is just a fun pop song. The Tower is a little bit more reflective. Deep in the Night is amazing. Say Goodbye is fantastic. Give Me the Ghost Back. Corner of My Eye makes me tear up, as does The Thief, one of my favorite songs of last year. The Fight, Peach, The Garden Wheel, the closing track, the only hopeful moment really on the album. This is just an album that I just love with everything inside of me. And man, 2024 was fucking terrible, but this year I know is going to be amazing, and it's albums like this that really give me hope for this year of 2025. So that's it. Those are my 20 best albums. Let me know what you think of the list, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video very soon. I have my honorable mentions linked below, so yeah, take a look at those if you'd like. All right, have a good one, guys. See you soon. Bye.